What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Wrestling with Tomorrow. I'm your host, Mike Kinney, and with me today,
The faithful co-host, Randy Harig, that will always be here and never let you down.
that is very, very true. And for those of you that are tuning in again, we do appreciate your patronage. I do want to tell everybody that Randy is sick as a dog, and look at his dedication. He is here today to film this episode. Good for you, Randy.
Hey, I told you I'd be here, didn't I?
You did. I'm so proud of you. So proud of
Well,
you.
there's that.
All right. So today we're going to talk about the comeback code. So, have you ever felt like walking away, like the hits keep coming and getting back up just doesn't seem worth it? Well, today we're digging into the code that separates the ones who tap out from the ones who always find a way to fight back, like yours truly. I want to talk about real quick, like a time when I almost gave up. And I have not talked about this publicly before. This is actually the first place, Randy, and I don't even know if you know about this.
Okay.
Whew, this is going to be a tough one.
Woo!
So I've told people before, like I'm trying to think of what year it was now. It was during COVID, right? I was laid off from my job that I had for 14 years. I thought I was going to be there forever and ever and ever. And I didn't know until I was gone that I wasn't happy, but I thought I was happy there. I'm glad I'm gone now, but I thought I was happy. And I luckily landed on my feet and I found another job later that year. And 11 months later, I got laid off again. So I was laid off twice in 12 months. I recorded myself in my car the day after I got laid off the second time because they'd asked me to go essentially back to the place I was at to clean out all my shit. And they met me in the parking lot and with a cardboard box, just like the old cliche you see in all the movies. And I got my box. The very first thing that this gal said to me that I used to work for, she said, "Hey, how are you?" And I looked at her. I gave her this look. I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?" Like,
I'm fucking tits.
yeah, you just fired me yesterday. I'm great. And then she said, "Oh, sorry." So anyway,
Yeah,
so
you are.
yeah, you are. Yeah.
Bang.
I drove away. I was pretty emotional, as one would be. I pulled over and I grabbed my phone and I just started recording. And I have like a 9-minute video of me just like venting. And someday I will put that thing out publicly. But what people don't know is, I've never ever told anybody this before. I was in a position where I just didn't know if it was worth it anymore. I was the self-confidence guy. The TED Talk and everything else, right? And now all of a sudden I feel worthless because I can't keep a job. And it wasn't my fault either time. The first time the company downsized, I got cut. The second time, company downsized again, and I didn't have enough seniority to stay. I remember specifically sitting there wondering what life would be like for my family if I wasn't around anymore to be with them. And I've never been that way before. I've never been suicidal before or since, like it was just like 15 seconds of what if. But that 15 seconds, dude, was like enough to scare the daylights out of me because I've never been there before. And I don't ever want to be there again. And I didn't know that there are people that care. Like I knew, but like you also feel like you don't want to burden anybody. And it's like, that's such a, if there's anybody out there, and I just want to say this, fuck it, right? It's my podcast, right? I know Randy's raising his hand right now. He knows, he's been there. There are people out there that give a shit. And
Yes.
2 days ago, I took a buddy of mine to lunch. He worked for that same place that laid me off after 14 years. He just got laid off, and I took him to lunch, and I just kind of like wanted to be there for him because that's important. Life stuff is important, and I could empathize with him, and I wanted to be in that moment because, man, it is very easy to slip down that slope because you also start thinking that nobody wants to hear the woe is me. Everybody else has got their own problems going on, and you don't want to burden anybody. But I'm here to tell you that that's not the case.
There are people that you're not burdening. You might feel like they are. You might feel like nobody gives a damn. I've been in a very, very similar position myself. I lost my job. I had an excellent job that took care of all my bills. I had extra money all the time. And I had a family and a house payment and things to take care of. And none of it was a problem. They downsized. Two of us lost our jobs, and I was one of them. And I thought, what the hell am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to take care of them. And I felt like the whole world was on my shoulders. And, there was no way that they were going to be proud of me and things would just be smooth anymore. And I felt very similar to you. Now, I've never been suicidal, and I'm very thankful for that. But I felt the exact same way about, it'd probably just be easier for everybody if I was just gone somewhere else, just not around to cause problems or whatever. Things would go easier, and, it'd probably just be the best thing. I've never had a death wish. I've never had, like I said, I've never felt suicidal, like I should hurt myself or somebody else or anything like that. But to feel that low where you think you're incapable of coming back and helping and being the man that you were, or being the father that you were, or, boyfriend, husband, that is such a kick in the ass that I sat countless hours not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
And I still think about it now and again, even though I'm long past that. I have a job. My family's still around with me. They've been with me through thick and thin. Now we're doing this thing together, and I'm enjoying this. I have nothing to complain about. Everybody's healthy, except for me with my sniffles. But everybody's healthy at my house. I have nothing to complain about. I'm very grateful for that. But if you get to be suicidal, that has to be freaking terrifying. To think that's the only possible choice that can be done, is that you have to end yourself. That has to be terrifying, because in your head you know better, but you're still wrestling with yourself. That has to be awful. I can't imagine.
Yeah, and it happens, in society. It just happens way too often. And you know what? I think that, Randy, I'm publicly going to thank you as well. A lot of times when I'm going through some stuff, man, like Randy gets a phone call. I think I've said this before, how my wife calls Randy the mic whisperer, because I have a tendency to go Mach 10 from time to time, and Randy's able to I turn it up way too often. And Randy knows how to turn me down. Like nobody else, I'm all about turning it up. And
let's just say that when he goes crazy, I know how to refasten the knob back on and turn it back down when he tears the damn thing off.
It does happen.
Just saying.
Does happen. Yep, it does happen. So I want to thank one of our sponsors, Face Punch Foods, for riding along with us, man. You know what? He showed up to my house today, the owner of Face Punch Foods. I happen to be test cooking a whole bunch of stuff because we're working on a rub collab together. And there's a lot more information about that coming. You will be able to buy that rub, and I'm going to tell you all about it later in the episode. However, I just happened to be cooking today. He brought me yet one more test batch to sample, and we started talking about the future of that brand. And it's gonna be crazy.
Show him the prototype, dude.
I got it right here.
It's there. This is real. He's not just talking. Look. Oh, well, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try it.
For those of you that are listening, this is a salt, pepper, garlic blend with a couple of proprietary ingredients inside of it.
Ground up toenail clippings.
I am and some alligator scales and all kinds of
good. They're good though.
They got that good stuff. I love for a salt, pepper, garlic rub. I love a nice fine rub. There's other rubs where I want something coarse in it. So I think we've dialed this one in now. We put some sea salt in there, a couple other things. So more on that later. But let's right now, again, thank you, Face Punch Foods. They're sponsoring this segment, which is all about the science of the comeback. So, Randy, I turn it to you. I want to know why most people do quit. Is it trauma? Is it burnout? Is it lack of support? What do you think?
Well, it's certainly burnout, man. It's how much shit can you carry in a bag? You can only fit so much. When you have so many troubles that you're dealing with at once, something's going to give. Some people are very good at managing it, some people not so much. But I don't care who you are, when it gets too full, it's going to blow and you're going to be in trouble. Um, I knew that you were going to talk to me about this, so I jotted down some notes when I was thinking about this earlier.
Oh, good.
And I'm thinking about, people that, let's say, I want to play in the NFL. I want to make it to WWE. I want to be the CEO of a corporation.
Hell yeah.
You got these big dreams, and it's tough. There's only a tiny, tiny percentage that get there. There's a lot of people that are right with you that would love to do it.
Sorry, I'm sitting here signaling to Randy. I've been trying to tell him to get that microphone closer to his mouth. And there he goes. You got her, pal.
How you like this?
I did like it for a sec. Put it in there. Get it in there.
I just can't do that. But if you subscribe to my Patreon, however,
now that sounds like an OnlyFans thing you got going on.
No, that's for feet. If you would like to see my feet,
oh boy,
which God help me, but somebody out there probably would.
Those ladies at the nail place don't even want to see your feet.
Yes, they do.
You were talking about identity loss a second ago when you were putting that microphone closer to your mouth.
Stop distracting me. I'm trying to talk about identity. Know your role.
Fine.
So yes, not a large percentage get to do those types of things. I think you have to have that determination, and you have to have it every single day to wake up and think, damn it, I am doing this. I am going to do this. I think it starts with everything from getting up and taking a shower, eating well, getting some sleep, so you can feel good about yourself physically and you're not worried about that kind of thing. You have to eliminate those kind of normal worries.
Yeah.
So you can concentrate on bigger things. And then you take off the emergency brake and you floor the thing. And you keep going every single day, training and getting better for whatever it is, until you get the call and you get to do what you want. And when you get there, you keep going some more. That's hard to do.
For sure.
That's hard to do. There's bills, there's, arguing with your spouse, or kids got stuff going on at school, or there's a million things that are normal things that come up. And we got to know these things are going to come up, and we've got to be ready to deal with those. If you can deal with those, then they'll be more mundane. And when something surprisingly comes up, like, hey, we just went on vacation and I got a call the day before we come back that the furnace went out. Oh, shit. Then you'll be able to address that kind of stuff. You'll be able to think about it, maybe save some money and stuff ahead of time, so you got a fund so you can take care of these things. But it's certainly going to keep the bag a little emptier, where you can kind of focus on what you're trying to do. I think another important thing too is to make sure that you take a rest, take a break, have some fun with your family, get out of the house, stop doing what you're doing for a little while and come back to it. I think that's vital. I think you just burn yourself out when you're rolling 24/7. And how could you not?
Yeah, I think it's important, like, to have goals, to go after them, and I'm just as guilty as anybody else. I'm thinking, like, I am so busy right now of things that are my own doing, right? I'm training right now. I'm getting ready for a return match. We've relaunched the podcast. I'm talking about launching some barbecue rubs. I've got a million irons in the fire with merch. I got the micro brawler coming out. P.S. by the way, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, and I have a full-time job. So I think about that stuff pretty regularly. I'm not saying it's poor me. I'm just saying, like, if I don't consciously take a break here and there, I am going to burn out. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because we're all human. It's going to happen to all of us.
Yes,
So no matter if you're doing stuff you like or not, you're eventually going to burn yourself out. So yeah, I think that's a great reminder to just take a step back and say, okay, is what I'm doing today giving me energy for tomorrow? If it's not, then you really need to reevaluate, like, what are the important things then? If it's giving you energy, then you should put your energy toward it. If it's not, it needs to be eliminated.
absolutely. Absolutely. Accentuate the positives, eliminate the negatives.
Don't you start singing. I also want to say that, when I look back at my time in wrestling, and I realize you and I kind of had different careers in the retrospect of wrestling, right? I didn't, and I say this over and over again, I truly didn't know at one point in my career that I wasn't going to make it. Like, it was just like, I'm going to make it. It's just a matter of when, and I didn't understand the power of the pivot. That's a kind
Okay.
of a buzzword everybody uses from time to time, but I didn't understand because nobody teaches you the strength of being able to pivot. Now, when my wrestling career ended, I didn't I didn't pivot. I didn't change to anything different. I said, "Okay, I'm out of here. See ya." And I bailed and I was gone and I was done, and it just hurt me and everybody around me. What I could have, there's a million other things I could have done. I'm not even going to go down that road and say woulda, shoulda, coulda, but I could have done something differently and still been involved in the professional wrestling business. As much as I wanted to wrestle, clearly it wasn't going to happen. So it's kind of funny to me when I look back now and I go, I was away from wrestling for 10 years, and then all of a sudden I get an opportunity to do this TED talk. So, you know, I look at everything wrestling took from me and that I gave to it, and how confidence really ended up bringing me back and starting to, like, pique my interest again as to the professional wrestling world. And I think back about my time in doing the TED talk, because now I'm up on this stage and I'm thinking, well, like, okay, I can't be a hypocrite. I can't be a hypocrite. I have to live what I preach. And that self-confidence thing is so ingrained in me, the turn it up values, that I think that when I start looking at the documentary that we're filming right now, so if you don't know, there's a documentary being filmed. It's following me along on this journey back to the ring, but it's so much bigger than that. It's also called Wrestling with Tomorrow. That's the working title for it. But it's so much bigger than that. It's about the pivot. It's about self-identity. It's about overcoming addiction. It's about finding out who you are when you don't know who you are anymore. So that's what the entire film is about.
Absolutely. It's about all of us that have ever felt that way and had to make a change.
Yeah.
All of us. It's not just about you. The story is about you,
Yeah.
but so many people can relate something in their lives that
Yeah.
you've done or not done,
Hmm.
and things that they wish they would have done differently.
Yeah.
So this applies to the masses more than just you.
It does. I think my comeback for this one match is really going to be vital in moving the story along. But other wrestlers have made comebacks as well. So let's talk about those. I know we have a lot of wrestling fans, obviously, on here. We're not just about mental health, but I think there's a lot of parallels between mental health and professional wrestling, as there are most things. You and I know all about professional wrestling, so I think let's talk about a
I've
couple of
heard of it.
wrestlers. Yeah, right. Let's talk about a couple of wrestlers who have some famous comebacks. I'm talking about guys like Shawn Michaels, who had a back injury and then he had a whole redemption arc after that. You remember that one?
I do. Well, I remember a couple.
Okay.
I remember that. Let's see. It was what, February '97 on Raw, that he lost his smile,
That's a very famous segment of
and
non-wrestling fans.
he announced that he was relinquishing the title and he was going to go home because he had a knee injury and he had lost his smile. Now, a lot of people in the locker room, a lot of executives, a lot of fans thought, "You big baby, you're just trying not to go and lose the title."
Yeah.
And he argued, and I believe he still does to this day, that no, the injury was bad enough that he needed to go. but that skepticism still remains too. People still don't believe totally, but he returned to the ring, and if you watch some of his stuff after he returned, he would sell so dramatically and stuff, like overselling, to kind of stick it right up the ass of anybody that wouldn't believe it was true, that they
Yeah,
didn't believe him. He
I
did a lot
think
of that.
for sure. There's if we want to just sit here for a minute and just say, okay, we're going to give this performer benefit of the doubt. Let's say for a minute that everything that he said is true. It wouldn't be that hard to believe that because these guys were on the road over 300 days a year. So they get 1 day off a week, right? We've talked about that before. So the road burns you out, the injuries pile up, and the list goes on and on. And so it wouldn't be that
Add
hard
in
to believe
booze, add in drugs,
for sure. Add in all kinds of stuff, sex, right? I mean,
add in
all kinds of stuff.
staying up all night long, and then trying to go to the gym, and then make it to the show on time, and
Yep. You got to
you
eat
know,
healthy. You got to do all these other things. It's like, it's crazy. I mean, these guys are living a rock star life, and um, it's it isn't it isn't out of the realm of possibility to think that everything that he had talked about was true. But he did come back. He did
yes.
have a redemption.
Well, and later on, he had a second injury too, his severe back injury,
Mm-hmm.
that he was gone. He had a casket match with the Undertaker at the Royal Rumble in 1998, and he took a back body drop onto the edge of the casket. He compressed 2 discs and he crushed one.
Oof.
Now, when you crush a disc, discs, they are what they are. You get one, you don't regrow. You don't get, baby teeth and adult teeth kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have one. When they're damaged, they are damaged. That is
Yeah.
it. So he retired for 4 years there. And he did a surgery. He did extensive physical therapy, and he actually got to make his in-ring return in 2002. But wow, he wrestled again until 2010. So he came back for another 8 years after
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So if that's not overcoming obstacles, that I don't know what is,
For
honestly.
sure. For sure. And another guy that comes to mind when we talk about something like this is Eddie Guerrero. I mean, Eddie Guerrero is quite arguably one of the top performers of a generation. And R.I.P. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is no longer with us, but
Yep.
he also battled with addiction pretty severely.
People argue about the best technical wrestlers in the world. He just might be my choice, and I don't think that's out of line. A
I don't
lot
think
of
so
people
either.
pick Bret Hart, they pick, Danielson, they pick, whoever, but I don't think he's far out of that range either. If you watch
Oh,
some
he's
of
in the
his early
conversation.
early stuff, absolutely, he's got to be. But he was always the most entertaining of those guys for me. But
He had a lot of charisma. There's no doubt.
he died of acute heart failure
In Minneapolis,
um,
P.S.
in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. Like, what is with our Twin Cities area? The people come there and they don't get to go. It's
That's
Brian
eerie.
Pillman was there too.
I know it.
Not that that's the same thing, but
Yeah.
like, what the hell's going on? So if anybody wants to stay at my house south of the metro, it'd be much safer here.
Yeah,
I
no doubt.
promise. Yeah,
That's for sure. We're
yeah.
we're camping at Randy's.
I might be able to get some of that rub from Mike too. We might be able to make a little something. Something.
I hope you're talking about the money kind of rub because I'm not interested in the other, pal.
No, I want the barbecue rub. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Take it easy, killer. This isn't that
Oh
kind of show.
boy, I thought you were flirting with me. Okay, back to Eddie Guerrero.
You're not paid up. I'm not going to flirt with you. Sorry. He got into alcohol real bad,
Yeah.
and it took everything away from him. He got a DUI. He hit his car into a tree and should have died, but he didn't. Vicky, his wife, took the kids and left. And shortly after that, he lost his job and he had nothing left. And I wrote down some quotes from him because I
Oh,
was
good.
looking this up today.
Yeah.
And Eddie said, "You're doing these great things and wrestling, and it's great. But after you've done it, the feeling's gone." So when he lost everything, all of that excitement, the dopamine from our last episode,
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff is gone because he screwed up and made a mistake.
Yeah.
After that, he went and went into treatment, and he decided, I'm going to leave. I think I can do this on my own. He said he figured out that that was not the case, that he went out to have dinner at a restaurant, and he ordered a glass of wine, and he thought, I'm going to just have one glass of wine and have my dinner, and I'm leaving. Well, one became 2 glasses. Then he finished the bottle off. Then he ordered another bottle. And pretty soon he stayed until the bar closed. And he got a second DUI. This went in the newspapers. And this, oh my God, I'm glad I didn't have to deal with this. His children were calling him on the phone saying, "Daddy, why?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?"
Yeah, I'm so lucky, dude. Like when I look back on my slippery slope with the alcohol stuff, it was a matter of time for me. I am so lucky that number one, I didn't have any legal issues, but man, it was coming. I'm one of the fortunate ones that made it out of that slippery slope alive.
Well, yeah, and you still have your family.
For sure.
It didn't have the legal. You didn't get banged up in a car crash.
Yep. Or
And
hurt somebody else.
the thing that I always told my boys when they're getting to the age, I said, if you drink and drive and you pull into my yard, we're gonna throw hands out in the grass because I'm not gonna lose you guys to some bullshit. There's
Yeah.
no call for it. If you're not old enough to find a ride, you're not old enough to go drinking. I don't care how old you are. You call me anytime. You might piss me off. You call me at 3:00 in the morning. But if we set it up ahead of time, I know what's going on. I would gladly anytime come pick you up, any place. And that's just go for my boys.
Yeah.
But we lose way too many people to that shit, and it's unacceptable.
It's
Period.
true.
Period. I get it's fun to go drink. I get it's fun. And you got to go home. I understand that. And it's a pain in the ass to get somebody to bring you home. But you know what? Grow up. If you want to go and be a big boy, then you need to act like one all the time. And you need to come back home for your kids. And I told him, the other thing I told him was, I was never afraid to drink and drive. And they looked at me like, what? And I said, you can bang up a car and get another one. You can pay higher insurance and get that. You can lose your license and get it back. So you know why I don't drink and drive? I never wanted to find out what it was like to kill somebody's mother because I was an idiot. I don't want to wake up with that for the rest of my life, knowing that I stole, I robbed these people's lives. I've completely changed their lives for the worse because I was stupid.
Yeah.
And it hit them to this day. My kids, they're glad to hook them right up and stuff. I'm so proud of them for that.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that it's so easy to just get out and turn the key and go. It is. I get it. I understand that. And there's probably a lot of chances something won't happen. But if it does, it's not going to be anything good. It's going to be horrific. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Yep. One of my very best friends in this entire world. He specifically doesn't drive because he doesn't trust himself to make those rational calls if and when he has been drinking. And I have so much respect for that. I think that's such a
Kudos.
Yeah, dude. Like it's such a
Yeah,
great
hell yes.
moment of being very self-aware. So are there we talked about Guerrero, we talked about Shawn Michaels. I want to kind of turn it over to you. Tell me who you think. Give me like one famous comeback.
Well, there's a lot of examples of that.
For sure.
I mean, if you want to talk about comebacks. Why don't you talk about Matt Cardona? He had cancer of some sort when he was in high school. He beat that, and he went on, and he's still around, and he's still wrestling. But he beat that C word that takes down so many people, and he didn't quit. And to this day, he's still not quitting.
Yeah, he's an inspiration to many people, including yours truly.
Yeah. Well, and look at this way too. This is a different side of the tracks. Booker T, kind of a shit ass youth, getting into trouble. He ended up going to prison, but he came out of prison and made a life for himself wrestling, and he owns his own company now, and he still works for WWE. He's
a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely he is. And to me, like, if Harlem Heat's not in, they should be. And he's in singly too. So he should be a 2 if he's not.
Very well could be. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, somebody that didn't have anything and then lost it all and went to prison and came back and did their best stuff after they hit their lowest point. It is possible. How about Mick Foley? Got his ear ripped off in Japan. He has taken more savage bumps than anybody in this sport that I know of.
I'm gonna fact check you. You got his ear ripped off in Germany. Because there's gonna be that guy out there. Got his ear ripped off in Germany. Please continue.
That is correct. It was by Vader.
It was actually by the ring ropes. He did that
okay, thing Mr. Technical.
You know, I read his book. I stay up on the Foley.
Look at this. Let's all give him a round of applause because he read a book.
I can read. That
was all pictures edition.
It was. But
it counts. Okay. That's okay. There's no shame in that. You should still read, and if that's the level you're on, that's fine.
It's a graphic novel. Okay.
Graphic novels, I think, are some of those women read that those tit books. You know. That's what I'm saying. They're graphic novels. It gets pretty graphic. All right. Books. All right. I'm an idiot. Anyway, so the guy.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Hey, quit derailing the program here. I'm in control of this. I'm the captain now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The guy that I'm thinking of is the legend killer, Randy Orton. Now, that guy has had a whole litany of different possible career-ending injuries, and he keeps coming back from them. And when I was looking up the stuff for Eddie Guerrero earlier, I actually looked up a list of all the injuries that he's had, lost time for, and came back from. So I don't want to bore you with this. I'm going to zip through them real quick.
Okay.
But his first injury was his shoulder. He was out for several months. He broke his collarbone. Wrestling for the WWF Championship, No Mercy in 2007. And he had lost it for a day and got it back from Triple H. And then he ended up breaking his collarbone. He had a motorcycle accident. Now, from what I've read, it looks like he had just started to enjoy motorcycle riding and had done it for about a month. He was going up a hill and around a curve, and a car was coming the other way and went across into his lane, and he hit the curb, did flip over, and he was hurt in a motorcycle accident. So that derailed the collarbone thing coming back by a month. So you got those. You got 2011. He was out until January 24th of 12 with a herniated disc. Concussion against the Big Show on Raw in 2012. So he's back January 24th to February 13th, not a month, and then he's got a concussion. Back out again. Then December of 2012, the same year, he has another shoulder injury. Same shoulder, re-injured. He got head injured against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And a lot of you probably have seen footage of this. If you don't know the match, he gets down on Randy Orton and he's elbowing and forearming him in the face, and his face is just blood. This that I read said they were stiff legitimate elbow strikes. No, I'm going to go back and watch this again and see if I can figure out what would have caused this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't, to my knowledge, I don't think Lesnar's known as an unsafe guy to work with.
Yeah, I don't
He
know how
has a
many times.
temper, and
Yeah, but
he,
I don't know that he's gone into business for himself that often, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
That's what I'm getting at.
He
It's like,
can shoot on people. Like he's a legit
oh,
shooter. So it's
he's
like
got the ability,
that's
he's
what I
got
mean.
all that ability. But I always thought that was kind of a planned thing, so it would be that much more of a
Yeah,
beating, that was so violent.
right.
But evidently there was some seriousness to that. He's got long-term back injuries. And that came as new as with RK Bro with Matt Riddle, which I never understood. But some people like that tag team, and that's fine. The mental resilience from coming back from those 10 or 12 possible career-ending injuries is very impressive. You can tell that he loves the business and that he doesn't want to stop, because when they told him your career could be over, he trained and got back in the ring again.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. You sit here and talk about shoulder injuries and concussions, man. When I left, I was broken. I'd like to think that for my return match, I'm coming back whole. I feel great.
Oh, you're a
So
whole.
well, yeah, thank you. But maybe 20 years of a little R&R did some favors for me. But
I think so. I would
what
hope so. Yeah, I would think so.
I think for me, when we talk about comebacks, and looking at my comeback this fall at 43 years old, with family. I didn't have kids when I left wrestling, man. I didn't have a career when I left wrestling. And I certainly wasn't sober. So now I have all of these things. I'm just a completely different human being now, walking back into that arena than I was when I left.
Well,
And,
I was going to say, if I may, a lot more maturity than you had back then too.
that's fair. That's
And
fair.
I don't mean that in a crappy way.
I get it.
I'm just saying, now that you've grown up, you look at things differently than you did, and you realize, that there's a hell of a lot more to life than just yourself and just this piece.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think my match is coming up on November 1st in St. Paul, for MAW, and if you want tickets to that, you can find all the information directly on my Facebook and my Instagram. So feel free to go on there. I would love to see you at that show. So if you're listening to this, I'm talking to you.
I'll be there.
I know you will be there.
You come meet me too.
And you will, yeah, absolutely.
And
Randy,
if I'm not mistaken correctly, the Micro Brawlers will be there at the show, right?
they will be in hand. That is for sure. And also,
Dude.
I have an announcement. There will be Cowboy Gator McGraw wrestling buddies in attendance as well. These are stuffed plush Cowboy Gator McGraw. Yes, you and even you, Randy, can now sleep with Cowboy Gator McGraw.
I'm feeling a little sick. Hold on.
Well, Randy's dreams are coming true. There will be all kinds of opportunity for you to meet both Randy and
dreams.
I at that show. We will
at
have
the
a booth
shit
set
show?
up along. No, we will be. This is not a shit show. This is a very legitimate show.
All right. This is a legit podcast too. I'm sorry. We back on track.
November 1st, St. Paul, Minnesota, MAW. We are going to be there. We will have a booth set up. There's a fan fest before the show. It starts at 4 p.m. We want to meet you, and hopefully I will be at the booth. Randy will be at that booth for a majority of the evening. I, as you know, have a few other things to attend to, but I want to meet and greet as many fans as I can. There will be all kinds of merchandise available. There might even be an opportunity for you to be on the documentary. The documentary crew will be following me around that day. There will be all kinds of special interactions that we're going to announce at the show that fans will be able to be a part of that day. So I am stoked for November 1st, MAW Grand Slam 7. And frankly, dude, I don't even need a title, man. I want the closure, and I want to have the opportunity. My kids will be sitting front row. I want them to see. Yeah, dude.
There's the pressure you've never felt.
Ever. ever. I'm going to feel it one time in my entire life.
That's going to be
But
awesome, but
it is going to be a
it's
great
going to
night.
be both sides of the coin for sure.
I'm going to be a sticky, icky, emotional mess. I have no doubt. But you know what? I'm so looking forward to it. And just a few weeks before that, it is I'm going to make all kinds of announcements very, very soon on my social medias. But I can give you this peek behind the curtain as well. NLW Northern Lights Wrestling will be doing a show in October. The date escapes me at this moment, but I will have all of that information in the coming weeks on my social medias. They are giving me a lifetime achievement award at one
Wow,
of their
dude, I didn't
shows.
know about that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. That's super cool.
I'm very humbled by it. So my family is going to be in attendance for it, and we're just going to show up and just be this really kind of great evening where I get to see some familiar faces that I typically wouldn't have,
Oh,
and I'm very honored. So
dude, that's
yeah,
awesome. So
yeah,
cool.
it's going to be it's literally from us filming this right now. We are 90 days out from that match.
Yes.
So I'm still training. I'm still trying to have a very, very clean diet to the best of my abilities and do
I've been
everything.
eating all the garbage for him, so he doesn't have to.
Thank you. I live vicariously through Randy's diet.
I'm bringing fat
Um,
back.
so I'm bringing fat back, fat back.
Fat back sounds derogatory, but I'm bringing it back. That sounds more positive.
Oh, and on that note, Randy, I want to know
No. Yes.
what's in your comeback code. And I say comeback code, I want to outline some key elements of a comeback. Okay. There are four things. I took some notes on this. There are four
All right.
very important things that I think are important for any comeback. Are you ready for these? We're going to
Okay.
talk about them one by one. The first one is purpose. And in my opinion, without it, the fire dies. What are your thoughts on purpose within a comeback?
Well, I think when you get derailed, you'll oftentimes lose your sense of purpose. I think in order to make any kind of comeback or to rise from the ashes and be successful with anything, you have to put your sights back on what you're looking for, find your purpose again, and say, you know what, to hell with everybody else. I'm going to do this, and there's nobody that can stop me.
That's a great segue into the second point that I think is important here. So the first one is purpose. The second one is pressure, man. And I'm telling you right now, we brought this up earlier. I'm going to be facing some pressure, but you were talking about how people chase their dreams. But when the pressure hits them hard, most people quit when it gets hard, man. And that's what separates the winners from the losers, in my opinion.
It's easy to quit. It's easy to find an excuse that, I just wasn't getting a fair shake. I wasn't getting enough opportunities, or I had this little injury. I better just not ever consider anything again. All of these things that deep in your heart are don't have to be the end of the line, but you're choosing to let them be. You got to bust through all of that stuff and decide for yourself, really truly in your heart, is that what you want? Do you want to stop, or do you want to continue forward? And whichever one of those is the right decision, don't let anybody change your mind. You decide for you. This is your life.
And sometimes the thing that gets in the way is number three, pride. Pride in
Absolutely.
showing up again and again. Pride gets in the way of you being able to do what it is that you do.
Yes. Pride is a bitch. It has derailed so many people that had so much potential, that came in with that attitude, and they said, "Nope, you're gone. See ya," and they never got another look again. You know what? It's okay to be proud of yourself. Yeah, I think you need to be. You need to hold value in yourself and be proud of the things that you do and move forward that way. But don't let it become where you are the only thing that matters, because then everyone else is going to think that you don't.
For sure. And that brings me to point number four. The fourth and final element to any comeback code is people, because you can't do it alone.
No, no. Some people can go on alone for quite a while, but you're going to hit that point that you're going to need somebody. You're going to need somebody to care because you're going through hard times. You're going to need somebody to say, look, man, I know you're going through some crap. It's going to turn out all right. Let's put our heads together and try to think through this thing.
Yeah.
You'll get through this. We can get through anything when we work together. But we humans are supposed to be a herd type animal. We're not supposed to be solitary. We're supposed to be around each other. They talk so much in life about having a family and raising your children, and it's very common. And people that don't do that, they have pets and they call them their children. It's a nurturing type life that we have, and that sounds really strange, but it's true.
It
And
is.
sometimes people aren't as fortunate. Just quickly, I have 5 kids at my house. I have a daughter that's biologically mine, and I have 4 kids that are my stepkids. Now, their dad has done the classic don't show up and promise you're going to and let them down and hurt them and things like that. So just by showing up, I look like an all-star for just coming to be there with them. People don't always have that relationship like Mike did with his dad, or that I do with mine. I value that so much, and my mom too. I'm not saying that, but I have that, and everybody should be able to have that. But unfortunately, they don't.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're not family to someone else,
Yeah.
and that someone else would just take you right in. That is a certainty. So don't forget that.
Yep. And I do want to say, like, it's part of my ethos in my life where, everybody knows about my dad, right? But I also want to give a shout out to my mom. My mom and I are still going pretty strong. Shout out to Gina.
Yeah.
Gina's out there
And your
killing
sister.
it. And my sister. And also my wife. By the way, my wife is probably the best mother I could have asked for my kids.
Do you know what she goes through putting up with all his shit? Unfrickin' believable.
We're not Catholic, but she should be a saint. Like, she should be a saint.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That she definitely should be up on the dais there.
For sure. So when we look at the
she's
comeback code, yeah, she good. When we look at the comeback
talent.
code, yeah, that girl good. So the wrestling with tomorrow, wrestling with tomorrow's comeback code are these 4 things: purpose, pressure, pride, and people. Randy, I think it's time for a debate. Do you think every comeback is worth it, or should some people stay retired, stay silent, stay down, just stay the fuck away? Like any of these things? What do you think?
That's tough.
I know. You know what I immediately think of? Like, I immediately think of Ric Flair, and I hope you're gonna go there. But like, dude, I don't know if you saw his retirement match, his latest retirement match, the newest retirement match.
I couldn't watch it.
Oh, dude, it was brutal.
I didn't want to watch it. No shit. That's what I heard. It was really bad. And thinking about Ric Flair, I think back when WCW made him cut his hair, and he talks about it.
Look. It's called the Spartacus haircut.
It was called the dip of shit Maximus. That whoever decided that shit should have been kicked right in the balls with a golf shoe.
Jim Herd. Jim Herd was running the show at the time.
I rest my case.
There you go.
The guy, second Dingleberry, only to Vince Russo.
Okay.
But Ric Flair lost his confidence. He thought, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't, they've got me changed. They've done all of this. And it took him leaving and going to WWE to find his way back again. And to find all of those other guys over there that had always looked up to him, he didn't realize he had to get around that again and see that he was valued and that it was worth it. Talking about whether it's worth it or not, I think depends a lot on a person's mental health. Sometimes, maybe you're not equipped to do it at that time. You need to do some work on yourself. But I would say it's got to be up to the person. If you and I decide we want to try to have a successful podcast, then it's up to you and I to decide what we need to do to try to raise up and move forward and be successful. It's up to those people. It has to be, I think. So for me, it's really not my place to decide if it's worth it for you to come back and wrestle again. It's your thing.
Yeah, the reality of
You know
it
what I'm
though.
saying? Like
I
that's
absolutely. I think that nobody gets their moment unless they demand it. I mean,
absolutely.
you have to be conscientious of that. And I think about like my match. I think about the documentary. Like this is me demanding mine. Like
Yeah.
it's time. It is time. And this character, Gator McGraw, whom I hadn't seen in all these years, I'm being able to see him more and more lately these days. I like what I see. I like who he is. I like the changes that have been made. I think that
The evolution's incredible.
it really is.
Look back to your original stuff.
I this was, I can't remember if we talked about like me putting the gear on. Did we talk about that in the last episode?
I believe that you mentioned that it was going to be unveiled.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
That's probably correct. I was able to go and finally see the costume that was put together for me. It was done by someone who makes costumes for guys in the WWE and AEW, and it was it was put on a mannequin in a sound stage, and we were filming it for the documentary. And there's some B-roll, and there's all kinds of like media footage, and we're gonna slowly unveil that in the coming weeks, so you will get to be able to see exactly what I got to see. And there's some really cool behind the scenes stuff as well that you'll only be able to see on our private Facebook page, Wrestling with Tomorrow. But I walked into this room and there he was, bro. It was the costume on a mannequin. And now, granted, it's just a costume on a mannequin, but to see the transformation of these clothes slowly start turning into human form, knowing that I'm going to put them on and I'm going to turn into this character again. It was very emotional. And my daughter was with me. She's working with me this summer. We had just gotten off of work and we went straight to the sound studio, and we walked in and there it was, man. And the cameras were rolling and it was just like, oh my God. And it was beautiful. What you're going to see me walk to the ring in my final match is gorgeous. And there's all these little details and stuff that I point out in the videos, like, and I don't know if you'll be able to see them like on the on video or like from the audience, but like there's a lot of white in my costume, very intentionally, like a rebirth almost. I wanted a lot of white, and so a lot of the white on the chaps and the vest is like an alligator skin texture, which is so cool. And anyway, it's just, I got to put it on and do a photo shoot. Wayne McCarty was there. So Wayne, Wayne took so many photos of yours truly wrestling back in the day, and so many posts. A lot of what you see online, if you see any Gator McGraw photos, Wayne probably took them.
He to me was the photography guy in the independent wrestling around our area for sure, Minnesota and wherever else he was. The stuff he puts out is excellent.
Wayne has been all the way to Japan taking ringside photos. He's taking photos for the WWE. He's taking photos for Ring of Honor. His work has been featured on covers of wrestling magazines. I mean,
Dude,
Wayne is legit. I'm so honored to call Wayne a friend of mine. And when I knew that, so Wayne's been out of the wrestling business for several years now. He doesn't take photos anymore. And when I knew that I was going to do this comeback, I took Wayne out to lunch and I said, look, man, I want to do this, but I want to do this with you. and Wayne's been on board all the way. Like, so we did a photo shoot together of me in my new wrestling gear, and I got to put it on, and I got to feel all the feels, and
Oh,
man, it
whoa,
was,
whoa, whoa.
yeah. Well, not my daughter was there. Let's not get out of control here. But
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, it was very. It
Thank
was
God she
it was a
was
family.
there.
Yeah, it was a
Thank
family
goodness.
episode. It was a family episode, but it was very, very cool, man. And to be able to like just there's a whole transformation taking place right now, and it's so freaking cool to be a part of it. So I hope that all of you can be a part of it. Let's wind down, Randy. I think it's time for the final bell. On that note, Randy, give us some final thoughts of today's episode.
Well, I think the most important thing about the stuff that we talked about today is that you're not alone. Please remember that even if you can't find anyone to talk to, there are people out there that do care about you. I know this. It's 100% true. Don't give up because you think you're all alone. Push forward. You will find somebody. They will come to you. Things happen for a reason. Just stay the course. Don't give up. Don't let that be a reason that you don't try to do what you really want to or what you dream to do. It's too important for that. Don't give it up like that. If it's that important to you, it shouldn't be able to be thrown away like this.
I agree. I think, by the time this episode airs, we will have posted all of the places. So if you're ever feeling down, you're feeling suicidal, if you're a veteran that's out there that's having some issues with mental health, we're going to be adding all of those links and phone numbers for you to call. The private on our private Facebook group. That private Facebook group also, I just want to be able to give the quick plug for that. There's plenty of opportunity. If you are feeling down, post something in there. Randy and I are going to read it.
Please do. Please. I'm asking you, please don't be too proud. Yep. I've been there, and I'm an open book. I'll talk to you. I know Mike would talk to you, and there's going to be other people there that would care too. I'm telling you, don't be too proud. We all fall down and need help back up sometimes.
That is specifically why we have that group, and it's specifically why it's private, because we don't want everybody to air their laundry out, to be able to have a bunch of strangers see it unless they choose to do that. Absolutely. This private Facebook group is a great place to do it. I mean, you do not get to pick when life knocks you down. You do not get to pick that. Life is going to knock you down, but the difference between them and you is that you get to make the conscious decision of how long you stay down for.
Right.
That's it. You get to make that call. The next step belongs to you. Oh boy.
100% clarity too. A big reason that I accepted this job to work with him on this podcast was because I wanted to try to help to get some of these messages out. Yeah, it's fun to fart around with a friend and talk about wrestling and dumb shit, but this is important stuff that people need to know. You're not alone. Please believe me with that.
Yep. I'm going to do a couple of plugs here on our way out. So everybody, first of all, thank you for joining us today. But it's time to pay some bills. We want to thank Face Punch Foods for sponsoring this episode. They have been an awesome partner along the way. Get your tickets right now. I'm telling you right now, the first 2 rows have already sold out. MAW Grand Slam 7, November 1st, North High School, St. Paul, Minnesota. You don't want to miss the show. They've already announced the great Muda, who, by the way, I am so stoked to be able to meet him. He's one of my fucking heroes, bro, and I am elated to just share the same space with him. So
there's a small echelon of guys that he fits into. It's something else.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very special night. Lots more superstar names to be announced. Lots of matches to be announced. So far, mine's the only match that's been announced, and I'm telling you, they already sold out the first 2 rows. So, I appreciate you out there. If you bought some tickets, man, I can't wait to see you. We've got a special surprise for the first couple of rows of people, and I can't tell you till the show, but if you have tickets and you're sitting in the first couple of rows, you will be a part of history. I guarantee it. Also,
they're going to have Gallagher at the show. He's going to smash watermelons.
Wrong. Also,
Actually, I think he died, but I'm not sure.
if you are R.I.P. Gallagher, geez. If you are watching this on YouTube, please make sure you like and subscribe.
Please.
Also, go follow us on Instagram, wwt.pod. What else is out there? Oh, we're on TikTok now, by the way. That's at Wrestling with Tomorrow. My micro brawler is for pre-order right now. It will be in hand. It will be ready to go for Grand Slam 7. If I have any remaining after the pre-sale, they will be at Grand Slam 7, and I will gladly autograph it for you after you've purchased it. If you want to buy one now, strictlygator.com. Head on over there and pick up your Gator micro brawler. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a review. Tell everybody you like it, because that will certainly help us with the
We
search
would
functionality.
appreciate that.
Help
That'd be
us with the
awesome.
algorithm. Yeah, hell yeah. And two more announcements, Randy.
Hmm.
One of these announcements you know is coming. So I'm going to start with that one. Randy and I, by the time you hear this, will have launched our very own Patreon group. Now, what is Patreon? It is a subscription service. You do not have to do this by any means, but it would help out our podcast greatly if you did. There are two tiers you can sign up for, two different tiers that you can subscribe on a monthly basis for. Tier number one is $1 a month. It would help us out so much if you would donate and subscribe for $1 a month. And here's what you get in return. You get access to that private Facebook group that we talked about earlier, which, by the way, anybody can get access to it right this second. But come September 1st, 2025, that group will be closed and will only be available. You will only be allowed into the group. If you're already in the group, you get to stay. If you are joining us after September 1st, the only way to be able to do that is to sign up for the Patreon. That link is all over my social media right now. By the time this thing airs, it will be impossible for you not to find it. So, and it's also in our show notes today, so you can easily click and find out where that's at. So tier number one, $1. Tier number two is $5. You also get access to that private Facebook group. I forgot to mention, for that $1, not only do you get the Facebook group, you get all of our show notes as well. So
Yes, show notes. Yes.
we show notes. So you get to know exactly in advance what we are going to be talking about on these episodes, and you get to follow along if you like, and you get to see how crazy our notes are and what we actually discuss and what we do not.
We'll actually see how close we can be toward the format without crashing the train off the cliff several times.
So
But no promises either.
That's true. That's so that you can have that fun for $1. For $5, you get all of that. You get access to that private Facebook group. You get all of our show notes. And Randy and I will be doing one additional podcast episode per month. And it will be an off the cuff random episode. And the only way that you get to listen to it is through that $5 tier on Patreon. The very first one we are doing is all about. You want to tell them?
Dude.
Tell them what it's about.
I'm gonna give you a hint. Just give me 1 second here. Oh, don't do it.
Oh man.
All right, this is a good hint right here.
I love, because there are people listening to this. Randy is showing an ECW action figure of a New Jack on the camera right now. Randy, tell them what it is. Tell them what they get. What is the first exclusive Patreon episode? What is the topic we are going to discuss?
We are going to discuss why sushi is a terrible, gross food, and that you should buy barbecue rub. No, that's a different one. We're going to talk about toy collecting and the fun that you can have. Take a little bit of the pressure off of your daily life.
We're specifically doing these extra episodes like that for our mental health, to be honest with you, because he and I shoot the shit pretty often, and I think it's time we record it. And you get to listen to us completely unhinged, no agenda whatsoever.
If you think this derails,
yeah, you're in for a real treat for $5 a month.
You're in for a treat. You're in for something.
I also want to talk about the other announcement that I don't know if it's too early to announce it or not. So I'm going to be incredibly vague. And Randy, Now you've already started to think about what it is that I'm going to say. And just so you know, I'm going to stay vague intentionally because we don't have all the details yet. But a great, so just a little bit of backstory before I let you all go. And if you're still with me, if you're still with us this far, God bless you.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
we're sorry for your soul. This,
Oh,
sorry, I don't know what else to say, but thank you. We appreciate
thank you. We do appreciate you. Now, listen, Randy and I, between the two of us, have together promoted about 75 or so professional wrestling shows in the last 25 years. What would you say? Maybe 75, something like that. I mean, that's a pretty rough guess, but it's a lot. In very, yeah.
We
I mean,
ran
yeah,
a couple things. Yeah, did a
a
little
couple
bit.
things here and there. Yeah. Most famously, we were known for the AWO, American Wrestling Organization, late 90s, early 2000s.
Dude,
what are you going to say about the AWO?
I'm not,
Oh.
but I'm going to tell you. I talked to Suicide right before we went on, and he told me to tell you hi. I forgot it until
Did
now.
you really?
I did.
Just so everybody knows, Suicide was a performer. That was his gimmick name, his wrestling name.
Suicide Dance Party.
It was Suicide with an S, and he very much did a Jason Voorhees / Michael Myers character, and it was awesome. And he is the man. I miss him so much.
King of the leg drop.
But King of the leg drop, dude. He was definitely one of our AWO guys. After that, Randy and I also a few years after that, we promoted a little fun project for about a little over a year, called Pro Wrestling Rush. We mainly did that out of Mankato, Minnesota, and boy, what a fun time that was. But now here we are, 20 years later, and an opportunity has fallen in our lap to once again possibly start promoting some shows together again. And just when I think that,
here's a little hint for you.
There you go. Again, Randy forgets that some of this is audio. So if you didn't get to see Randy's hint, well, that's too bad. You're going to have to go watch the YouTube video now. But here's what I'm going to tell you.
He can't explain it.
I can't explain it. He's right. We will very soon be making the formal announcements, and when we do, the project we are putting together isn't going to be your typical pro wrestling show. We have so many tricks up our sleeve right now, and it is going to be something different that you will not see in any market anywhere. And the Minnesota market specifically will be very lucky to have something so great to follow along with. And no, I will not be wrestling on it, but I will certainly, the Cowboy Gator McGraw character will certainly be in that echelon somewhere of characters on those shows.
It's damn true.
So the Gator character lives on, even if I have to book him on shows myself.
Even if we have to book him and he doesn't show up or he doesn't wrestle anymore, he'll still be at every show.
Terry, I'm not showing up because I'm not booked, Terry. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed
I'm still training, though.
I'm not booked.
I can see you on the trampoline, too, with those little two women's weights.
In the Speedo?
Yes.
You know it.
Oh, my God. That's
so R.I.P. Dennis Stamp.
Yes, Dennis Stamp.
Oh, anyway, more to come on a possible new professional wrestling venture between Randy and I. This has been episode 10. Can you believe it? Episode 10 of
10. I give it a fucking 10.
My man.
I still got wood.
Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for joining us.